Oh yes, legends, how's everybody doing? Hope you're doing fantastic today. We'll be analyzing the situation here for Bitcoin, a few cryptos, also ICP getting a nice runner. We were bouncing nicely yesterday at that $5 range. It had big support, reclaimed some interesting levels, and now it's shooting up here trying to get to $7. Just actually officially hit $7 right now on ICP, which is actually pretty damn good, guys. Let's discuss the different scenarios here all together. Make sure to smash up the like button. We're going to do a like button recount here, guys, because, man, the like button is going down just like the market, okay? Just like Bitcoin, like button in the last week has been going down, guys. So do us a favor. I'm going to go through the comment section, okay? Give some support and some love because I'm going to support you. I'm going to read the comment sections first of all. Okay, and make sure to destroy that like button, okay? Help the algorithm, help the channel. 25 likes, over 100 people, guys. Come on, let's push it through here if we can together. And I'm going to go through the comment section, say hello to the community. I'm going to read what you believe, okay? You know, different cryptos, any cryptos that you want me to analyze. Give me your point of view on Bitcoin, any levels that you see as resistance, support, divergence, whatever you want, guys. ICP is absolutely rocketing at this moment. Very nice. It was a very good technical reason to get into a potential long yesterday. We were discussing ICP, that it reclaimed the entire range that we had here of 2025, right? Big pump. We created a swing failure pattern from the range highs. We got the rejection back down, and back down what we have is insane amount of support here. Point of control, value area low. We just dipped below $5 and we got an epic bounce, and off we go to Valhalla, guys. Whoever bought Bitcoin throughout 2025 and maybe through the dip believing in this project is obviously in the green right now. My holdings are in the green finally. So happy about ICP bringing these new products. Caffeine launched, and it's a leader in AI, and apparently it looks like it's getting the attention just like the privacy cryptos. So it's very nice to see this going absolutely bananas, right? Reclaiming good levels of resistance, flipping them into support. As mentioned yesterday, we came down here, the speculation eventually, right? We speculate that this support is going to hold on, and we're looking for a reversal to test the highs again. Highs have been tested. We are breaking out on ICP. There's not huge resistance, I have to say. There is a bit of resistance in this $7-8 zone, which we can discuss. But as we broke through yesterday's highs, anybody that's in longs, I mean, you can take profit, but you can take profit when you lose this high again. And leave a runner, right? Leave a runner, because this project does have good potential. And when can it rally if it's not better in Q4 of the 4-year cycle theory, right? So let's give it a chance if we do go to higher levels. If we were to lose that high of Tuesday, just at $6.60, I would consider, scratching some profits. Anybody that wanted to join a long position at the back test, basically, of the point of control and the value area low of this range of 2025 that we had on ICP. So whoever joined the bandwagon on that, nice, good sign of strength. Happy profits. Let's go right away through the comment section. How are you feeling? Bullish, bearish? Guys, let me know what you're feeling here, all right, for the month of November. Are you feeling bullish? Are you feeling bearish? Test the lows again, right, on Bitcoin, and then get the pump up, right? 25% do believe that we're going to test the lows and then go up, which is interesting. A lot of, we are downtrending still on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is in a pretty aggressive downtrend. The bounce that we're getting is not extremely convincing as of yet. Downtrending, lower highs. This bounce is not too convincing. Of course, we got some levels of support that we want to respect for a potential higher low. And we got major levels of resistance that we can obviously look for a rejection. There's some internal nice day trade setups, guys, okay? we need to trade our way into making gains, right? Altcoin bags, well, ICP is doing well now, but if we are, waiting to make gains on spot bags, it's probably going to take some time, right? On some altcoins, maybe some altcoins will never recover. ICP is on the runner. That is the one making the money. We're in the money on ICP at the moment, right? Not interested in buying up here. That's obvious. So yeah, let's go through comment section. Say hello to the beautiful community, right? People are feeling bullish. 43% are feeling bullish for November. 30% are feeling bearish. So far, November is in the red. October closed in the red. November down 5% currently. Can we flip November in the green in the next coming weeks? It does look like that 43% of people do believe so. We'll be going through the technical analysis, guys. Let me know in the comment section anybody that was aggressive entering ICP to revisit the highs of the swing failure pattern at the support level. Let me know, anybody. Maybe some of you got into a long position. This was good support yesterday. Some comments were very fishy, saying ICP, that's it, short squeeze, liquidity grab, we're coming back down. But for the moment, it is looking pretty strong for the moment. Let's maintain above the highs here of $6, $6.20. Let's maintain above those levels, because a double wick here wouldn't be looking too great. Okay, anybody that longed here from lower, if we do reject from that wick here, close a solid 1 hour candle, 4 hour candle could be sketchy as well, meaning that the price could reverse back down. Okay, so anybody that's in long here from $5 range would consider taking profit if we do lose that low, right? For the moment, we can take a look at ICP later on throughout the stream. Most importantly, people are here for Bitcoin, right? Who cares about ICP? I care because it's one of my biggest altcoin bags. I only have 3 main altcoins, starting from Chainlink, then Ethereum. They are both in the profit from the levels that I bought, and ICP was in the red throughout the previous week, saying, oh man, it's my 3rd biggest holding. I did take a little bit of a hit, and at the moment it's in the green. Not interested in selling at the moment. Let's see if we can get some bullish momentum, right? We're going to give November and December for some strong pumps, right? See if we do get to higher levels, break some resistance, and we'll go from there. Quick comment section read, guys. Beth Maria Vallejos, ¿cómo estás? Much love to you. Rod, how are you doing? Lower, says Rod. Yes, possibly yes. On the price of Bitcoin, we ain't looking too strong on that bounce. I have been showing up every day. Can you please check Hype chart? Okay, my man. Okay. We'll take a look at Hype. I've been showing up every day and smashing the like. We can do a quick view on Hype for my man that's been showing up every day, man. Well, I mean, yeah, if I trust you, I do trust you. Okay. I think I did see Hype not long ago. Yeah, the interesting thing about Hype, yeah, we got this value range since the drop of October. Still maintaining higher lows, reclaimed that point of control. This pullback could be interesting. We've broken local bearish market structure. This was a very, very local bearish market structure. That point of control was kind of trying to be lost, reclaimed it. A higher low here could be interesting for Hype. Okay, just, going through the point of control range, basically. This range over here. It does look okay. Big wick on the liquidation event. Big bounce. Could it be a 1-2, 1-2? We are going to give it a chance here on the retracement. Yeah, it looks pretty okay for this retracement to maintain. A little bit of wicky action beneath the point of control is going to be just fine. We don't want to lose it. Come down to this order block on the lower time frame, right? And that area could be very interesting for Hype to claim the highs again. For the moment, we've broken the local downtrend of the last couple of weeks. Okay, well, last week basically. So it's only 1 leg up. I would like to see at least 3 legs up. Will this 3rd leg manage to go higher, or will it be a 3-waver, resistance, value area high, and roll over again? For the moment, we've got 1 leg up, only breaking the local structure. I would like to see a 3rd one, and it does have a good chance to form a higher low here after the reclaim of the point of control. Keeping things simple, okay? Not going to go too aggressive. into detail on hype. But that's what we got. Hello, Andy, my man. Umari, how are you doing, my man? Umair, sorry. Much love. Hello, Andy, my man, the BTC champ. Much love to you. Mike, how are you doing? Much love. Ibuska, hi, Andy. I used your strategy how to join ICP move. I entered at $4.73 swing, sweeping the lows from last move up as you suggested as good re-entry position. Thanks, man. Much love. There we go. We got someone here in the comment section getting into that ICP long, which is bouncing beautifully for the moment, breaking the highs of Tuesday at $6.60. We want to maintain above those highs, getting a little bit of, volume is decreasing eventually. We had a big spike in volume throughout this move. If we lose this high, close a 4-hourly, I would really consider taking some profits. The rejection could be greater. Okay, we could be coming back down in the next 1 to 2 weeks. We want this push to absolutely go aggressive. So let's see if it does come down and just continue the massive rally, right? We don't want much. Obviously we'll detect if we are going to correct down, because it could be moving down, up, and it's very, very channely throughout the next couple of weeks. But yeah, this is a volatile crypto, guys, right? This as it smacks up, it can smack back down, just as we did here on the rally from Monday and Tuesday, right? Big smack to the downside. If anybody's in leverage long positions, consider SFPs, consider the possibility of coming back down to the lows, right, that we formed yesterday. It's a volatile cryptocurrency, as we can see at the moment. And we're going to get lots of pumps and dumps eventually, hoping that the general idea is that we do continue to the upside. Let's go through the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's getting a little bit of a leg down right now. We could probably take a look at stock market, but this bounce to the upside, not looking great for the price of Bitcoin. Let's just continue through the comment section, man. I'm just reading the comments and going through the charts as we go, but let's just say hello to everybody. Andy Hermano, PT, how are you doing, my man? Always a highlight in my day, particularly in these volatile times. Gracias por el buen día, che. Much love. Muchas gracias por venir y esas palabras tan bonitas. Hi, Andy. I am from Sri Lanka. Absolutely awesome. I want to go to Sri Lanka. I've seen, it seems beautiful. Want to go there. Zek is going mental. Yeah, Zcash is still on the massive move to the upside. I do not know what's going on with this, but it's past, I think it's 8 billion market cap at the moment. Zcash is all, this is not stopping. Hopefully ICP is going to do the same. Right? Hopefully ICP will do the same, guys. Look at this pump in just 1 month, guys. This is what can happen in crypto. This is like 1 out of 1,000, right? Because not many cryptos are doing much, but Zcash has pumped over 1,000% in less than 2 months, guys. Less than 2 months. Currently trading above $1 billion in market capitalization. It has overtaken. We got it all the way up here, ranked 26. It's overtaken the leader in privacy, which is Monero, sitting at 6.5 billion. Absolute insanity. I do think Monero is going to do well regardless. It is the privacy coin to perfection. It's doing pretty okay. Let's go through comment section. Continue here. I feel tired. I know, my man. Me too. Hello, Andy. I got liquidated like the noob I am. However, with the ICP long with peanuts left, I can buy me a McDonald's meal, says Train. Absolutely awesome. Scam pump. Dude, be honest with it. ICP pumping like all other coins. What do you mean, be honest? Come on. It will be back at $3 in a week. Why? Why do you think so? Just because a lot of them have? Why didn't Zcash, right, pump and come back down to $50? Right? Why? It is a good project, ICP. We've talked about it. I've talked about others that failed, but this is crypto. Welcome to crypto, right? But ICP, I think it's a good project, and I think it can go to higher levels. Why not? It's breaking levels of resistance. If we lose them, then I'll be a little bit skeptical. For the moment, we're going to give it a chance to rally to higher levels. Why not? Okay, so yeah, That's the answer to that. Mike, it might be able to hit $8 resistance. You just never know. That's why take some profits now. Yeah, without a doubt, I would say it's not a bad idea, right? As long as we're above the range highs, it seems a pretty good resistance support flip. We just broke Tuesday's highs. It is true that we are going to come into some resistance here, right? Value area low. We got a high volume node. Yeah, there is, without a doubt, just hitting this high volume node right there. This order block on the higher time frame, you know, there's lots of resistance. There's no doubt about it. Okay. Obviously, a couple of dollars to the upside. We've got the lower high resistance trend, right? You might think this is nothing, but obviously lower high resistance trend can obviously provide that resistance with the value area low, and that is coming up into $8 range. Okay, so yeah, this is a struggle zone for ICP, no doubt. But come on, we need a day trader as well, right? Yesterday we talked about a trade setup. We talked about, you know, bouncing at the support, okay, at point of control, value area low. It looks good, guys. Regardless of this SFP, we've reclaimed a major block here, and the lows of the block, value area low, point of control zone, you know, is the support area, right? It is the support. I wasn't expecting it to shoot back up here, but maybe climb up slowly and gradually, right, throughout the next coming days. But man, just 24 hours later, we have pumped, you know, I don't know, 40%. Yeah, a little bit insane. Well, this is when you get good, you know, you get coins getting attention. When a coin creates a pump from a major crash, okay, and it starts getting attention, that attention, people will realize that this is still at low levels when you look at it far away, right? When you look at it far away, you might think, oh, this is still at very low levels. People will do some research about the project, about the blockchain, and maybe it gets enough attention to really smack out of, you know, the downtrend that we formed since 2024. Let's see, right? A lot of negativity here. We need to give some hope. Your like will help Andy make a live stream much longer. That is very true, guys. Hit the like button, man. Like button. Let's take a look here. Let's do a like recount. Ooh, just under 199, guys. Let's get above 100 likes right away, because man, people are tired from crypto. Let's do a little bit of Bitcoin. What's going on with Bitcoin? Still downtrending, right? It's time for Bitcoin, guys. Hello to everybody. Andy, please BTC first. Yes, KC. Yeah. I think to short Zcash, yeah, but where is that is the problem. Where? I've seen a lot of people talking about shorting Zcash over a week ago when it was trading at $300. So, yeah, if ICP keeps going, what is your exit strategy for spot? But my main exit strategy for spot was coming all the way up to $20. So yeah, but it's definitely changed. You know, I haven't got really a proper exit strategy. I'm just going to go with the flow. It's not enough, you know, for me, it's not enough money to really, you know, say it's worth taking profit here at the moment on my spot bags. But eventually on day trades, yes, I got into a little day trade yesterday. I did get into this long position, still riding a little bit, but just a day trade, make some bucks, right? Makes a few dollars on that level of support that we mentioned yesterday on stream. I think I have it here somewhere. Yeah, just got into that long position on ICP, managed to make a few bucks at the $5 range support, claimed the highs, took some profits as we came down, just managed, you know, it's a day trade, right? If you can make a little bit of cash on the sideline, then, you know, I did get into that day trade, but according to the spot bags, gonna leave it, guys. Going to leave it. Let's see if we do break some levels in the next coming days. For the moment, we are attempting break range highs. We're gonna leave it, guys. Gonna leave the spot bag. Okay, I will do more analysis in the next 1 to 2 days to consider the possible projections that we have to the upside on ICP. So yeah, we'll see. Let's do Bitcoin, guys. It's time for Bitcoin. Hello to everybody. Much love. Thanks for smashing the like button. It's time to go through Bitcoin, right? There's a snake in my boot. Long or short, Andy. Staffer. Bitcoin. We have to say, we are downtrending, legends. All right. We got on the votes. We do have. How are we feeling for November? Bullish, 47%, 26% bearish. Test the lows again, then up 27%. And I'm a little bit in this camp as well, because beneath the lows that were created, all right, beneath the low that was created here on Tuesday at 99k approximately, we got some big levels. Okay, we do have some big levels. And you know what is interesting, and what I realize, and I've seen this many times before, guys, something that I want you to realize as well, which if the lows are going to be tested from Tuesday at 99k, there is a high chance that we do not break down aggressively. And we need to go through the 1 hourly time frame so I can explain that. Okay, super important, because if you break down from major lows, right, of this, multi-monthly range that we had, and you kind of want to see a third wave picking up with power, be a capitulation, right? A third wave, you want it to capitulate, like aggressively moving down, much larger than the first leg down. And when you form your first waves, 1, 2, 3, and you haven't capitulated already, $10,000, give or take, right? A big move, and you are slowing down, it gives a good chance that a reversal bounce, not the bounce that we got, still in this downtrend locally on the 1 hourly. I wouldn't consider this the reversal bounce that I'm talking about. This little bounce is not it. I'm talking about a higher time frame, on the daily time frame, reversal bounce coming into the next week. So you want the third wave to capitulate, right? Most commonly, you want it to really nuke down. And we haven't nuked down, right? We just dropped a few $1,000s beneath the low of the 17th of October, which was at 103.6k. So it wasn't a major breakdown, which is giving a lot of bullish options, right? Which is what I want to break down here throughout the next coming 30 minutes. It's giving a lot of bullish options to get that reversal, maybe even the low being in, guys. Okay, so there is a problem with the local bounce. It's not looking too bullish, which is a problem eventually. But we got some internal support levels that we could speculate on a higher low if they do hold, right? To then get the next leg up, right? Who knows? It's all about level to level here, guys. But I have a good feeling based on the information of the chart that we are looking for a reversal bounce soon, right? Either from here or test the lows, as people are saying as well, and then move up. Because, the first reason is you want to really capitulate if you're losing the lows of the range and the value area low of this area of the last few months. You want to really move down aggressively and break the levels. And we do have a lot of levels down here beneath the 99k. Obviously, $100,000 is that round psychological support. It's inevitable, no matter if you don't have any levels on the chart. 100k is that 6-digit psychological level, and there's going to be big money that are interested in buying below 100k. I can tell you that already, just by nature. So if we do test the lows of last Tuesday, right, giving my opinion here, guys, if we do test those lows that we formed just a couple of days ago, just that 99k range, what is interesting, we got our the first higher low after the big rally that we got since April, right? the first big major higher low from a big correction. Big corrections. This pivot on higher time frames is very important. You know, this is a swing failure pattern. You want to close a 4-hourly candle above this low, you know, even a daily, even better. And that could really be the trigger to get a significant bounce to the upside, right? We're talking about $5,000 to $10,000 bounce easily. So we always need to consider these higher time frame pivots, pivot highs, pivot lows, right? In this case, pivot low. And just under that pivot low, by $1,500 approximately, we do have the range point of control, which is sitting at about 96.5K, right? So this is a big area, right? Obviously, we want to come down there, test these levels, create a swing failure pattern, close a 4-hourly candle, looks pretty solid, create that wick, right? There's going to be, I think, some aggressive traders here looking for their long position. Of course, that low may not come, but it's obviously a zone that would be interested to be, you know, I'm interested myself in going aggressively long, right? With 1% capital, give or take stop loss, you give a bit of room. You don't want to break this zone successfully. So you need to give a bit of room for stop loss. You're looking for a swing trade, right? You're looking for a rally, a decent recovery for the next couple of weeks after testing those lows, right? SFP, you're trading beneath the level, you're not interested. So you either reclaim this low or you reclaim the point of control. But trading beneath the level and looking for limit longs, yeah, I mean, you have a good chance that you're going to catch a good entry and it's going to bounce, but it's dangerous. It's dangerous practice to not wait for that recovery above that level, right? Because if you're trading beneath it, you can be underwater and you never know, you know, how the price could capitulate down, right? Maybe another $5,000. And if you're using too much leverage, you're going to feel the pain if you're not doing responsible trading. So it's just a very good area for a bounce, right? Testing the lows of Tuesday, and you know, we got good support, we got a good swing failure pattern pivot, we got the point of control. This is really considered as a good swing long zone, right? To try and catch the lows on the reclaim of these, you know, confluence areas. When we do take a look at Fibonacci, which I have not checked, from the major pivot low of April to the pivot high, all-time high, well, 50% is what's doing the job right now. Golden Pocket is coming down at $94,000, which is where we have this order block, right, on the weekly. So like a weekly order block right there, which is the top of the order block as well, where we have the point of control, right? So there's just a lot of support here. The question is, will we come down there? I do not know. But if we were to come down there, guys, this is where it gets interesting on the lower time frame. So bear with me here. You know, there is a good reason that this could get a significant bounce if we do come and test the lows. As you know, over 20% of people are speculating here. Test the lows and then up. It's a good strategy. I think we can get a very decent, good bounce, and that all has to do also with the 1 hourly time frame. Analyzing the waves, how we're getting down here, right? The low could be in as well, right? This is why we need to adapt to the different conditions, the different levels. But first of all, we are speculating on why coming down to the lows, a double bottom speculation or SFP from this low, or SFP, right? A reclaim of the point of control if it loses it, is going to be a decent long position. Apart from good confluence, we do have on the 1 hourly time frame the speculation of forming another wave down, because for the moment, from the highs created here on the 27th of October, for the moment, I think it's pretty clear that we can map this being one wave and this being another wave, and this one being another wave for the moment, right? When we consider Elliott wave theory, well, this is either a 3-wave corrective structure in an ABC or a WXY, or it can be the third wave still, as long as the fourth wave, which we would label this bounce over here, is not overlapping this pivot low at 106.3k, we can consider that there could be a wave 4 formation. The bounce is not looking too promising, I have to say. There is a bullish one, but it doesn't look too great. It's a contracting diagonal, and we will go through that on the 15-minute time frame. But just explaining the plan of the next trade, right? If we were to roll down from here, remember we got this insane confluence between $96,000 and $98,000, right? Just beneath the recent lows that we formed on Tuesday. There's a lot going on here. Is this a wall of support? And when we consider the possibility, looking at the internal waves, right? The new fresh waves, right? Anybody that doesn't believe in Elliott wave theory and is a little bit tired, right? We can see, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can see it. Big bounce, claim the fourth wave. You have a very classic Elliott wave move with its correction getting above the fourth wave. It cannot get any more classic than this. This is like the textbook 5 wave down, 3 wave up, and you're even coming on the bounce to the fourth wave, which is very, very common. This is like Elliott wave theory, but on the lines on the textbook. Biggest move, wave 3, ABC coming down to your wave 4, and then you look for the reversal bounce, in this case in an uptrend. This is the same, but down, right? So when we consider the move here to the downside, I think it's relatively important to consider this move momentum to the downside from this pivot of 116k zone of the 27th of October. I'm very interested in this movement to the downside, how it develops, okay? And this is why I'm here to explain a little bit what I believe, right? What I believe, what I think about the analysis. Considering that what I've just mentioned, we've only got 3 waves down, we're not overlapping this pivot. This could be a wave 4 formation. Maybe it hasn't finished yet. Maybe it's finished already, right? We are getting resistance at this order block that we mentioned on the live stream, right? We didn't quite hit the 105k level, which would have been interesting, right? Just that bounce to sweep up all of these local highs, right? It would have been nice to just get that swing failure pattern, but regardless, it is an order block area, right? Which is where we're getting the resistance currently. So yeah, maybe some people just said, you know what, it's a lower high, we're downtrending, it's enough of a bounce, order block. Obviously we got more detailed levels. Obviously that SFP at 105.1k would have been the bomb diggity trade, right? It would have been the one, would have been pretty obvious for an SFP, but we just got a lot of resistance. The bounce is very poor for the moment. The movement down does look a bit corrective, I have to say, still also, unless it's a multiple 1-2 and it's going to break down here. We'll go in detail through the levels, all right? We'll go through the lower time frame now at the 15-minute, but just wanted to break down here this scenario, okay? The scenario of forming a 5-wave move to the downside, which is going to come into the big zone, guys, right? This is the big zone. This is the big zone. So, I mean, I would say get your risk management set, get ready, because the probabilities in bouncing from this area are quite high, quite high, guys. Be at 98, be at 96.5. But a successful breakdown here is going to be difficult for the price of Bitcoin, considering that we are already in that. I mean, it can happen, guys. Maybe this third wave hasn't even started to get developed. But like I said, the probabilities are low for a big breakdown. Okay, when we do consider that scenario, counting the waves from here, we do have that chance of a 1, 2, 3, 4th wave, give or take, if we do not overlap this pivot. We'll go through the bullish scenarios as well, which we would have to bounce not too far away from current price levels. Okay, I will explain the potential of the higher low. I've got my AGGR.trade chart. There is CVDs are not loading here for some reason. There we go. Okay, we'll go through that. This is for lower time frame, okay, to take stuff into consideration. We'll get to this later on, okay? But first of all, let's continue with that speculative move to the downside in a possible fifth wave. And we know what happens after forming a 5-wave structure, right? Best example that we can give you is this one right over here. 1, 2, big 3, fourth. After the fourth, you're looking for the lows to be claimed of the third wave to form that fifth wave. What happens after the fifth wave? You're looking for that relief rally, right? Relief rally. We can get into these relief rallies, right? It's obvious, it's a good long. So this is one scenario, guys. This is one scenario that could be unfolding throughout the next couple of days, where we do visit the lows of Tuesday below 100k, and you know we have that big solid zone. We have the higher low right over here from June the 22nd. We got the point of control, and when we go into detail on this, I want to be, I want to be in this bounce if I understand that there could be one more low, right? There could be one more low. I'm not saying that this is going to happen. So based on the waves and the scenarios and the levels that we have on the chart, there could be another low, right? This could be a wave 4. It could. We could be creating the fifth wave. This fifth wave, if it is going to be the correct count, is coming into big levels. June higher low, 98.2. Point of control of the big range of 2024 and 2025, 96.5k level. That is in your best interest to look for either a swing failure pattern from point of control or the higher low from the 22nd of June. Because what happens after a fifth wave? You get the relief rally, regardless if it's going to be impulsive or corrective. We don't know. But I can tell you one thing, it is common after a fifth wave to get to the fourth wave. It is common. Just as common as this move that got above the fourth wave. As common as it gets from the last, month of October as an example. Yeah, I mean, this is just one speculative scenario, guys, that could happen, right? No financial advice. This is one scenario that it is a possibility here, right? So, long interesting zone. This is a long interesting zone, right, for longs between 99 and 96k. Look for the reaction at those levels. Of course, what does happen if you do get a major move down with high volume on the 15-minute, 5-minute time frame, what you always need to consider, especially if we consider this lower time frame, if this is going to be a multiple 1-2 scenario and we suddenly get the big move down, give or take, in the next coming hours, let's just speculate that this move down is going to collapse, right? It's just got the corrective structure. It's ready to roll over to the lows, right? Which it does look like it, right? It looks like it's rolling over. We'll go through the bullish case also, guys, okay? But first of all, bearish case, the most obvious bearish case, which is this one. We're in a fourth wave, potentially forming a fifth wave between today and tomorrow. What you need to consider on the 15-minute time frame is how you build up these movements. So you do have definitely a couple of 1-2s here. If you were to break down very aggressively here, you need to consider that you can dead cat bounce and test the lows again, right? These obvious levels can be tricky, and if you're using too much capital, too much leverage, you're gonna have your stop loss stuck to your bum, right? You're risking too much. This is not one of those trades that you want to go extremely heavy and be emotional, because you can double, triple bottom here based on this momentum. And you know, this is very classic. After a big move down, dead cat bounce, you know, you're looking for that 4-5 scenario. So I would give it a bit of a breather, and I would consider local double bottoms here. But the overall target for me, at least on this bounce, would be at least reaching today's highs, right? The highs of this range. That is the target zone, which would be a nice little bounce of $5,000-$6,000, give or take, maybe $7,000, depending on your entry here. But that is a very, very good speculative setup if we were to come down to this zone of last Tuesday below 99k. Okay, so that's a little bit of a plan. It's very common to get above the fourth wave if this is the correct count. So that's a projection that we can consider throughout the next coming days if that is the case. So let's dive in right away. Thanks for smashing up the like button, guys. We've got 500 people watching the stream at the moment. Welcome. If you're new, make sure to subscribe. If not, if you enjoy the education, smash up the like button, guys. It's much appreciated, right? I'm feeling calm today. I want to go in detail on a few scenarios and where opportunities could lie. And we're just breaking down the different possibilities. So that's one scenario. That would be the local bearish one. We move down, we roll over, we test the lows. It's in our best interest to, at big support with Elliott wave theory, finishing a possible wave 5 into support, realize that that relief rally to come and claim the local lower highs here is a good projection, right? It's a good projection. So that's point number one. Bullish case scenario. What if the lows are not claimed? You know, my belief was that we were going to form this that you just explained, as 20% are believing. Test the lows again and then get a move up, right? Which is one scenario here on the poll. So yeah, this Tuesday, not last Tuesday. Yeah, this Tuesday. Sorry, my bad. This Tuesday, just 2 days ago. Okay, my bad. Bullish case scenario, which is one that it looks interesting. However, this bounce that we do have, the most attractive bullish case scenario here is that we have a finished 3-wave move down. This 3-wave move down, right, doesn't look too great. I mean, we could have a chance of forming bullish CVD divergence here, but we don't have many bullish CVDs. Yeah, not too bullish CVDs here, unfortunately. We have had long positions entering the market here, at least on Bybit, throughout this drop, which is just fueling a little bit of the drop. Lots of long positions entering today as well here in this range. Lots of longs, 10 million here, 10 million here. That's not good. We don't want to see many people long in here, which is just going to bring the price to lower prices, fueling that liquidity, which is not good, of course, right? We want to see people shorting to get the bigger squeeze bounce. Bullish case scenario. Let's crack on here, guys. Feeling a bit tired today. Let's get some energy in. I forgot to have my coffee before the stream. Let's go through the bullish case. Levels internally of support. Bullish case scenario, looking at the 1 hourly, is the 3-wave move up and the 3-wave move down to possibly create a flat where we are looking for an impulsive move in the next coming days. And this leg to the upside, we would look at it as a possible first leg first impulse, which does not look good, guys. I have to say, I'm not too confident in this first leg up, this bounce that we had in the last 24 hours. It's not looking super strong. It does really look like another crappy bounce after an aggressive downtrend, right? You know, trend is your friend, they say. So it's a little bit dangerous, and you know, if you're speculating on a higher low. But if it is the one, then obviously you want to be in that wave, the one that pushes through, right? The third wave, which are usually the ones that are more aggressive, right? So let's go into detail if this has a chance, because the idea here for that flat is the idea here of the flat is literally 3-wave to the upside in an ABC, 3-wave to the downside in another ABC, and what we're looking at here is a possible impulse formation, right, with the potential to take out 116k. There is a very valid projection based on the information that we have on the charts that this could happen. We'll go internally here on the 15-minute. There is a way of forming a contracting diagonal, which I personally do not like. You obviously, in a downtrend, you want to give priority for a correction. If the impulse doesn't look promising, if the motive wave doesn't look promising, it's probably not a motive wave and it's a corrective wave, right? So this projection over here, we're going to go through the 15-minute time frame to see if there is any good chances, and what we would need to see to be confident that we are going to get a 5-wave move to the upside here to complete this possible ABC flat structure, right? Let me just change this colors right away because we're doing it on the go. We're doing it on the go, right? Let's actually put this bigger so you can see it, right? ABC flat here is I have to say it's very much a possibility. Probabilities right now are not too great for this because the move up is not too great as an impulse. So the probabilities are not leaning too great for this scenario. But there is a chance. So we're going to go through the 15-minute time frame to see, hey, is there a chance for this? 3-wave up, 3-wave down for the moment. Big support at 100k, the round psychological number. We got an instant bounce, right, between Tuesday and Wednesday. Maybe the price doesn't go lower. Is there a chance? The chance is there. I'm not liking this to be a wave 1 though, and you're gonna realize why on the 15-minute right now as we do zoom in. But that would be the speculation, right? But these are the classic surprise pumps out of nowhere, right? People are feeling bearish, people are skeptical till you get the big pump or the big dump, right? And this is the moment where we're trying to identify, can we get that big pump in the next coming days? And that pump or that dump, which is mainly a wave 3 on most of the cases, is followed first of all after a wave 1 and 2, right? You don't get a big move out of nowhere. You don't drop down and form a V-shaped recovery 99% of the times. It doesn't happen. Before you get a big move, you form a first initial bullish structure. Just like this one over here. Before the big move down, you move down in the first waves, right? The first internal small waves. So, this is what we're going to try and get into here, right? Does it have a chance? Is this move up from Tuesday? Does it have a chance to be a strong move up and this a corrective structure to get that big wave to the upside? And that's what we're going to do right now, guys. We're going to dive in through the 15-minute time frame and study this bounce, which does not look good. Right, so it's giving a little bit of hopium here for this to be a wave 1 and a wave 2, let's be honest. But there's some decent support beneath us. There is some okay support, guys, I have to say. This daily level is old. We do have the previous day value area low. We got the mini range point of control of this zone between Tuesday and Wednesday, and we got a series of higher lows. It's a bounce. It's an internal bouncing zone. Let's leave it that way. I'm not sure if these higher lows, it's a nice consolidation that we had on Wednesday. Arguably say it's an order block, right, on the higher time frame, slightly higher time frame, right? This is a nice consolidation. We do have the point of control of this mini range, which is sitting just above these mini higher lows, right? It is a reactionary zone, which we are just $1,000 away from. I have to say, I wouldn't bring too much hopium into this scenario, because to label this as a strong leg up to the upside, for this to be, I mean, we are getting lots of overlap. It does look quite corrective. You know, your option 2 here is a 1-2-1-2. I mean, there is an okay option for this to be corrective and claim the local highs, I have to say. It doesn't look too bearish. But overall, let's dive in here through the possibilities of this being an impulse. Because, I mean, I've been going through the chart here today with the Legends. All right, anybody that's interested in daily updates, make sure to join the Legends Pro community. There's daily updates there every single day, okay? We do talk about many different scenarios. Higher time frame, lower time frame, creating trading plans, okay? And that's where we do the updates. Anybody that's interested in that, you have the link down below in the middle, okay? Join the Legends community down below, where we, you know, great community, lots of people very active there, sharing charts, ideas, daily updates, of course, from myself and Devilt, the other coach. And yeah, if you're interested in that, you got the link down, the information down below. So this scenario, for this to be an impulse, a wave one, that it looks strong. I mean, you can see how, you know, we had the leg up from Tuesday, boom boom, higher low right there, very poor, higher high, higher low with overlap here, and then this leg up, and you're like, wow, you know, this is, I mean, looks very choppy. It is a 5 waver, so it seems kind of incomplete. If it is a 5 waver in an impulse, it's not an impulse, right? 3rd wave, 4th wave here overlapping. It's a big fat mess. We're going to talk about the bearish scenario as well, which is a corrective structure. Well, it seems unfinished. If we were to move up to the highs here, I'm going to talk about a possibility of a rejection based on Elliott wave theory and confluence that we have here at these highs. So let's go with a bullish case scenario though, as we are talking about the bullish scenario. For this to be a wave one, man, we got a big problem. We're looking at the 15-minute Elliott wave scenarios. If internally, this is your wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, it's not an impulse, right? It's not an impulse, as we can clearly see. But there is a way of labeling this as a 5-wave move to the upside, and that would be a contracting diagonal. Funny enough, it just missed by $1 on the wave 5, okay, to be longer than wave 3. Maybe on some exchanges, actually, this wave 5 is longer than the wave 3. In a contracting diagonal, you cannot have your wave 5 longer than wave 3. And it's not the case. It missed it by $1. You can check yourself, at least here on Coinbase. So the small check, even though contracting diagonal it has lower probability than a potential corrective structure in a downtrend, okay? But just giving a little bit of, and this is, the bulls will make it difficult to believe that this is a strong move to the upside. And this is like the only way for the moment, at least from my understanding, that this could be a 5-wave move up. By a hair, it missed it by a hair. If this would have been a little bit longer, a few dollars up, it wouldn't have been possible to count this as an impulse, as a motive wave, but you can. Contracting diagonals are, you know, they are rare, especially leading ones, okay? So we got a bit of a problem here to say that this is an impulse, all right? Which brings the bearish case scenario. However, you know, this would be the scenario that it ends up being bullish. 50% has just barely been tapped. If we want to consider the bullish case scenario for a higher low here, I would say at least come down, to some good solid support that we have here, which is the point of control from this range, and it's actually sweeping the low. This is actually an acceptable SFP, at least locally for an internal bounce. It might just form a lower high and then come down. It might actually gain some strength and claim the highs here, and we'll have to move from there. If you lose this low, then there's not much that we can there's not much that we can lie on. Okay, but this would be an interesting area, which we just $1,000 away. There is some risk. We need to understand the bearish case. We are downtrending, guys. All right. We are downtrending. This doesn't look incredibly nice for an impulse, for a motive wave. Contracting diagonal is the only way that we can fit, something that is motive. And we are downtrending. Okay, we are downtrending down. So there are some risks in not having a strong leg up here to speculate on a higher low. There is definitely low probability. The probability is there. You got support. You want to sweep those lows and you want to reclaim it and give the bulls a chance. If that is the case, we want to hold this level or reclaim it if we lose it, and then consider the bounce, right? We cannot consider it's going to long, it's going to bounce. We long right there with the limit longs, okay? Because we are downtrending, guys. We need to have the alerts. We need to look at the chart, how it reacts. If you move down and start reclaiming and actually holding this zone solidly, then you would give the chance for the price to recover after seeing it hold and reclaim. Then you would say, okay, it's holding, right? At least you have something. But in a downtrend, put a limit long here and it's just long randomly because yes, there's the danger, of course, eventually, right? So yeah, that's the level of support that we have here to speculate that this is going to be some kind of a corrective, zigzag down, zigzag, another zigzag down here, double zigzag scenario in a WXY. It is very overlappy and choppy, so I would say there is a chance. If it bounces from here, I have to say it's a difficult long. It is a difficult long right there if we bounce out of nowhere, right? You are getting this resistance support flip, you could say, okay, but not insane amount of confluence here to say just this is a good long, right? Anchored VWAP here maybe is we kind of just anchored VWAP from the Tuesday. We got a little bounce today at the anchored VWAP, so it is the VWAP from the lows. We did get a little bounce today by $1,000 from that anchored VWAP. Nice little touch, and this is only for scalps, right? Enter, start taking profits at the highs if you react. Only for the scalpers out there. But kind of losing it right now. Previous day value area low is interesting. That's actually what is getting the little bounce right now. Previous day value area low. Not an easy long, guys. If you were to bounce from here, it's not an easy long, I would say. I prefer lower and sweep up, the point of control of this range. Sweep up these lows. It would be kind of nicer. Get a bit more of a shaky out pullback and then get the instant reaction for the bounce. This here, value area low. I mean, it's still a level. It's still a level. Previous day value area low. But it's not enough. It's not enough really to really say go long. But I mean, it all depends on your strategy. If you're happy to say that we're possibly going to form a higher low here. The movement down, it looks very, very overlappy and very corrective, I have to say. It does look very overlappy and corrective, so you would have to give a possible chance in this region for the price to bounce. Not that the confluence is great. It's especially considering the downtrend that we are in right now. So another bearish scenario, which could, it's a very, very solid level, guys. For the higher time frame trading setups, as explained, if we were to roll down from here in that wave 5, speculative wave 5, when we were talking about the 1 hourly time frame, that is a solid swing long scenario. Okay, that is a solid swing long scenario, the one that moves down and sweeps the lows of Tuesday. And wow, we've got a lot going on here. Lot going on. This is a pretty interesting long that I would be very, very interested in getting in. But it might not come, right? This is the thing. We wait for some levels, and then it doesn't happen. The potential of this being a motive way is very, very low. Very, very low. But there is a chance. The problem here, if this were to be corrective, we kind of only have 5 waves here. Okay? We kind of only have 5 waves here. Now, unless it's a WXYXZ, which I do not believe so, that's extremely rare to happen, especially on the lower time frame, we need to consider a double zigzag, which would be an ABC move to the upside here. All right. And you have your corrective structure here in your wave X, and now possibly forming another ABC up, because we only have 5 waves to the upside. There's only 5 waves, and you want to see either 3 waves or you want to see 7 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because 7 would be corrective for that double zigzag. Now, what is interesting about that scenario of that potential double zigzag is claiming those highs of yesterday, 104.6k, 104.5k, depending on what exchange. I kind of like this order block, okay, which it looks pretty damn good for a swing failure pattern, because you do have a fair value gap here. You do have that fair value gap from that drop that was created on Tuesday here. And usually these fair value gaps, the first dead cat bounces do provide resistance. It's like a liquidity grab zone. So for this to be corrective, a swing failure pattern from this zone is an aggressive short entry, but that's going with the general idea if this movement to the downside is going to be an impulse. It would be the last moment here for the idea of creating a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and a wave 5 later on. Okay, let's just put this here so you can see it. And this is like really going through the lower time frame, giving the chance here for this to be a wave 4 without overlapping this pivot low. So you haven't got much room left to reject if this is going to be corrective. And your chance here, of course, is a double zigzag, right? People might get confused with double zigzags. We did have a few double zigzags to the upside, and in the last few months. I just wanted to give you an example of a double zigzag. Where do we have a double zigzag on the higher time frame? Yeah, this one right over here, for example. This one right over here. Okay, just to give you an example of a double zigzag to the upside, where you have the low, you have a move up, correction, move up, right? You got a zigzag move up here, and then you have the correction for your wave X. That would be your wave W. And then you have another zigzag to the upside here, right? Zigzag up, correction, zigzag up, double zigzag. So on the 15-minute time frame, 15-minute 1 hour, right, throughout the bounce that we had since Tuesday, we can speculate on a double zigzag, right? You can speculate on a double zigzag here. So let's speculate on it. And what we need to realize is the downtrend, right? When we speculate on this scenario, the best area, I can already tell you, is a swing failure pattern from here or from here. So this becomes your rejection zone before the fair value gap. You need to be in front of the chart for these scenarios, right? Because bullish cases, you get a larger move up. The reaction here, the rejection, stop loss above the high of the rejection is the only way you can trade this. But you need the rejection to put a stop loss above that rejection, right? So that is this speculation over here. Zigzag up, correction, maybe another zigzag up to form a W, X, and Y right over here. The problem is, if this is not going to be bullish, which it doesn't, I think it has low probability, but regardless, it doesn't mean it's impossible. For the price to do this, 1 and 2, and we just missed it in front of our eyes. It's definitely possible. It's not an easy long for a swing here, I have to say. We're just testing the previous day valley area low, getting a little bounce. Could this be the low? I mean, this is the trading is all about taking the action, right? It is support right there. Not too fond about this being a low. If we would have had a very strong bullish CVD divergence, lots of shorts entering the market here, and you do see those lower lows, right, on the CVD from these pivots, right? If you do get these higher lows right there and big lower lows on the CVD, lots of people expecting that rollover to come down and test the lows, then you could say, wow, this is looking pretty good for the price to form a higher low here and attempt to break the highs, right? But with the CVD information, not many shorts. There's actually longs entering the market here throughout this zone of today, so that's not good. It's definitely not good. This is one scenario. This is just trading opportunities, trading strategies, considering Elliott wave theory and confluence. We do have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 speculation. Fourth wave is in already, then we got the long, right? If we roll over already, we get the long. If we move up, we got a potential short trade, potentially back to the lows. So double zigzag is without a doubt one of the scenarios here that could be possible, and a swing failure pattern from this order block, if you wish, fair value gap, and that is also in confluence with the Fibonacci, 50% Fibonacci, okay, from your wave 3, the start of your potential wave 3, your 50% Fibonacci is coming exactly at that fair value gap low and the order block highs. Okay, so it's considering the Fibonacci, confluence, order block, Elliott wave theory, zigzag up, correction, another zigzag up here, and fail. That's your point of failure. This is your point of failure after testing the highs of yesterday. You either break or you reject. There's no more to it. So if it gets that wick and it rejects, you have a possible aggressive entry with stop loss above the high, and you manage risk accordingly, and it has the potential to come down to the lows again. Will it happen or not? We don't know. Does it have a chance? Absolutely. All the technical reasons for that to happen are there. You've got confluence, you got Elliott wave theory, you got downtrend. It's your point of failure here that has the best chance of rejection when we consider aligning all of this analysis. So yeah, that's one thing here, guys. One local bearish case. If we were to roll over from here, then I have to say I'm interested in the longs. If we move up from here, I'm interested in this day trade short. I will manage it. but obviously I'm interested in the lows to be claimed. So there is a short, mainly day trade, maybe small little swing long. This would be a swing long idea. We've got the levels that need to hold. We do not want to have positions if we are beneath the levels. Super important to understand that, guys. If you're trading beneath the levels, you do not want to long. You don't know how low we can go. If you react at the levels, you have a invalidation stop loss, right? On the reaction of the fake out, right? The fake out is where you put your stop loss, right? And the best, clearest example that I would give you here would be the fake break up, right? The fake breakout from $116,000, right? You faked out after that major pivot high, lower high right there. You faked out. You need the fake out to enter so you can have a stop loss, because it's a fake out. You're going to believe that you're not going to get back above that level because it attempted it and it failed, right? So the same theory here with the local lows, the major higher lows from the 22nd of June, big major. This is a classic higher time frame swing failure pattern, but it's a higher time frame one as well. So you want to be cautious on the lower time frame because you could wick back beneath the low. It needs to be more as a 4-hourly candle close above it. 5-minute time frame, you could really chop into this zone, right? I would class this as a higher time frame swing failure pattern. If you're looking at the 1-minute time frame, man, you're probably gonna have a bad time because it might chop around here for a little bit and then close the 4-hourly candle and then, you know, recover throughout the next coming days. I wouldn't be too fussy about the 1 minute here. It's a higher time frame swing failure pattern level. It's a major higher time frame pivot high. Don't worry if it is going to be a swing failure pattern just like this one. Don't worry, it will come down. Don't worry, it will go up. But if you're focusing here on a swing failure pattern, if you do zoom in on this major pivot high, all-time high back in the day, if you see what happened here on the 1 minute, right? You claim the highs. It probably didn't swing failure pattern. You were trading above it, but you can see the momentum got up a few $100s more, but it ended up with a wick, right? You know, if you're trying to get into a swing failure pattern on a higher time frame pivot on the 1 minute, you're gonna have a bad time because the 1 minute's probably gonna be taking the highs a few times. Okay, so mainly 4-hour candle or a major wick. Daily candle even better because it's a high time frame major pivot for a swing failure pattern. Okay, most importantly, trade back above it. Trade back above it. It's going to be looking good for that general bounce in the next coming days, right? What else can we say, legends? Just giving a little bit of you know, the education on examples and how we would want to trade this. Bearish scenario here. There are some other scenarios, but I think they are pretty irrelevant. I'm just talking about the major local ones. So that's basically it. Okay, that's basically it on Bitcoin. We've got a bearish case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seems the one that looks more obvious. I wouldn't consider multiple 1-2s here. 1, 2, 1, 2. This second one is larger than this one, so that lowers probability already, and you prefer to see overlap in a double 1-2 also get above. So if we were to roll down from here, I would really heavily you know, see this as the highest probability wave 5 bounce in the next coming days. You know, breaking down from here aggressively, if we were to test the lows, has a low probability. So, you know, this is the zone that you really want to speculate on, that reversal bounce. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it, guys. All of the analysis points out low probability in breaking down, big support, wave 5. After a wave 5, you're looking at to really struggle to go to lower levels and obviously look for that reversal bounce at a later stage. Okay, so yeah, what else can we say? Let's see how many likes, guys, do we have. Oh man, we were over 500 people. 500 still. We did get to 600. People have had it with the technicals. People have had it. I've had enough of this guy talking about the technicals and the speculation. It is all speculative, guys, but it's all levels. It's all risk management, and with a good risk management, we can make some bucks, guys. We can make some bucks. I made a few bucks long in ICP from the support yesterday. ICP struggling here to continue that momentum. It is a TP zone, guys, but come on. If you're trading this bounced 40%, man. To get a 40% pump on Bitcoin, man, that ain't happening anytime soon, right? Man, this would take us to $140,000. ICP did it in 24 hours. So anybody that did get into that, support yesterday to take out the highs, man, this is a very good percentage move. That's a very, very good percentage move. You need to lock some profits. If you struggle to break out here, just accept it's failing to break out. But my goodness, reclaim. I mean, this was so technical, guys. Was actually easy to trade the last couple of days. Swing failure pattern from the range highs. Man, what a rejection. This is the meat and potatoes, guys. Swing failure pattern of the range. I did not short this, but it was a very good acceptable short, and then move down to the insane base of the value area low and point of control. You also have that resistance support flip. Look no further, right? That was the zone to hold, to attempt another bounce in the coming days to claim the wick high. I think there's a lot, then the people that shorted here and did not take profit at support, it's day trading, guys, right? We can have hope that this is going to go to higher levels, but we need to go level to level. If you lose it, it's not looking too great. So this was the obvious long all the way up to the highs. This is a day trade. This is your profit zone. Take some profits if you did take this trade. If we do get follow through in the next coming days, then absolutely wonderful. But this is level to level, guys. I do not have a crystal ball. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. If anybody tells you that this is going to go lower or higher, and they only talk about that, it's absolutely BS, right? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. What you know is the levels, right? This low, this high, SFP, good support, good to claim the highs again. That's your TP zone. And that's how it goes, right? Always leave a runner, right? It's always good to leave a runner with a stop at break even or slightly in profits, but just to give the possibility, right, of following through. So Bitcoin right now is, just rolling over a little bit. Not much more technically that I can say, guys. Not much technically that I could say. The bounce got rejected again. It looks like it wants to roll over. Stay cautious. This is an interesting area. Very, very locally. We might get there in the next hour or so. Maybe in the next couple of hours. Maybe in the next coming minutes. This higher low is... I like these little range higher lows, especially when we do have a point of control. I give them a chance. But if we lose it and we trade beneath it, I would not be interested. I would say, okay, we've got a good chance that it's going to roll over. If we reclaim it, if it were to reclaim, it will be looking okay to get the bounce. This is a speculative long. You got the support. It got back above the point of control. If you are hoping for this to be a motive wave, there is that contracting diagonal that looks absolutely awful. Wave 5 really just missed by a hair, being longer than the wave 3. So the probabilities of this being motive, it is actually pretty low. Okay. Just things that you need to concern. But sometimes the most awful pumps are the ones that at the end of the day are looking good, right? But just be cautious. This would be in my interest zone to see how the price reacts. If you break through, nothing to do. If you react here in the next 5 10 minutes after hitting it and get above it, could be an interesting zone where the price could actually, you know, find a bit of a bottom formation and then look for the rally. Let's see. Okay, it's just a very shallow, it's just a very, very poor support, guys. I have to say, there's nothing, you know, I would prefer the price really breaking down instead of dancing around here, because the confidence of this being a motive wave to then get a rally to hit the highs, they're not too high, right? This is the thing, when the probabilities are low, you don't want to go too risky. I would prefer the price to break down, and as we do get that breakdown, I would prefer to be patient, to claim the lows of Tuesday and actually come down to 98, 96k zone, where we do have then the speculation of getting that third wave 4-5, right? And then looking for that exhaustion for the massive reversal, right? When we consider the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reversal bounce, right? I would really remain patient. If it breaks down, I would want to wait for the lows and see exhaustion to then take the long. Okay, that's going to be the general plan, at least for me here looking at Bitcoin. Let's see, maybe this internally does hold. Maybe we do get lots of selling orders coming in, and we do get some bullish CVDs. For the moment, that is far away from being a reality because we are forming higher lows from these pivots on the CVD on most of the exchanges. So there's no lower lows on CVD, unfortunately, here. So it's not looking that great for the bulls to form a higher low, right? Let's be honest. Does it have a chance? Of course it has a chance. Is it probable? Not that much for the moment based on the data that we have. Andy, my brother, baby genius, I do spot trading as well. Just curious on your thought. Previously trimmed at 124k. In the case we don't reclaim 96, 94, would you decent spot entry just be a confirmed lower high? Would decent spot entry just be a confirmed lower high? I don't get it here. In the case we don't reclaim 96 and 94, would decent spot entry just be a confirmed lower high, SFP? Would decent spot entry just be a confirmed lower high, SFP? Higher low, you mean, right? Spot entry, higher low, not lower high. I guess you're talking about the SFP from this zone for a spot entry. Yeah, I mean that's yeah, for sure. I mean this is what if you consider spot trading, yeah, this would be a zone that would be interesting to buy some Bitcoin if you're interested in selling after a few thousand pump. Yeah, if we do close a good solid, this is higher time frame, so this could really chop in on the 5 minute, 15 minute. It could be a little bit of a headache. But we want to see a good solid 4 hourly candle either above that pivot low, okay, higher time frame, or at least the point of control if it were to break that higher pivot low, that higher low. So a 4 hourly daily candle above that level closing could be a good sign. Lower time frame, it's going to be messy and choppy, okay, I wouldn't pay too much attention, but it would be a good zone to consider the spot entry, of course, for that reversal bounce that could be coming in the next coming days. So yeah, not much more that I can cover here on Bitcoin Legends. There are some other scenarios I've mentioned, but they're just not worth to be mentioned. Okay, the highest probability scenario right now is if we were to test the lows. Unlikely that we break down, and we are looking for proof of support here, no matter how much volatility you form on the 15 minute or the 5 minute. I'm looking really for this zone to hold and get a reversal. Lot of influence, Elliott wave theory, wave 5, this to be a 1-2, 1-2 and get a smack down in a third wave has low probability. Second wave 1 is longer, not what you want to see. The danger is there eventually, of course, it could happen, but let's see this zone chopping around and closing solid 4-hourly candle, even a daily candle above these pivots could be a good sign to consider that reversal. If you're crossing the zone, this is not a limit zone area. If it just crosses the area, then we're looking for lower, guys. What can I say? We're looking for the low 90K levels. But yeah, we ain't going to talk about that. If we do break down, we would form a range and consolidate. Local bullish case, low probability. This is the zone that needs to hold and reclaim if we were to drop down below. If we reclaim it, it could be a speculative scenario that it could bounce. If it breaks, I would just be waiting patiently. Okay, if it doesn't reclaim that level, I would just remain patient that we're likely going to come and hit the lows here. So let's see. This is, if it bounces from here, guys, you know, muy difícil un largo aquí. Muy difícil. Legends, sorry, I meant if we don't reclaim the lowest range around 96, 98K with the higher low SFP, okay, be the best option, not lower high. Yeah, exactly. Correct. You're very welcome, my man, baby genius. Let's go. Gotta say, thanks for the information on ICP. Much love to you, DJ. Much love. Yeah, I think we're going to give it a chance. This is one of those projects, right? Let's see if this can become the next Zcash. I hold a decent spot bag, okay? I do hold a few thousand ICP, guys, I have to say. Let's see if this does become the next Zcash, right? Where it just goes parabolic for a month. Man, that would be nice. It is hopium. Not many cryptos do this. Does it have the potential? It is a good project, guys. Make sure to do some research on ICP because it is the fastest blockchain. That's number one thing that you would want to know. It's leading in AI, and there's hundreds of developers behind this project, and could we just make, all of this is just a bunch of noise at the end of the day. On the technical side, it's breaking above major levels, so that's a green flag. We got a green flag for the moment on this local pump. It's breaking the downtrend structure. You need to give it a chance for the next coming weeks to see if it can break to higher levels. A possible new uptrend could be on the formation, and you just need to give it a chance. Legends, much love to everybody. Not much more that we can discuss on Bitcoin. Tomorrow I'll be doing a video update in the morning. Make sure to subscribe, smash up the like button. Let's get to at least 300 likes, guys. Come on, it doesn't take much. I'm here losing my voice to explain the different possibilities. Obviously, the most interesting area for swing longs, we need to close those candles above it. The internal, if we were to form a double zigzag and sweep up these highs with this inefficiency fair value gap, it is an interesting swing failure pattern for a double zigzag scenario to then just roll over. If we got a pump out of nowhere, maybe not, we roll over, but it's a good, interesting area to execute a trade. More internally, we have the riskier, low probability level to hold. We are downtrending. It could just be another lower high and we move down to the lows. However, if it does react, it could be interesting, guys. Make sure that the price does reclaim this zone and holds locally. Then the price could bounce, right? Not looking for quick reaction V-shape here. You need to lose it, get above it. It might be interesting if that does happen. Legends, thank you very much for joining and smashing up that like button. You guys are legends. Click that like button, says Paul. I'll be happy to break even with ICP coin. Yeah, well, I am slightly in profit, not massive, because this was my main. I did go aggressive here, guys, buying ICP between $5 and $6. You know that. If you're a follower of the channel, man, it's one of the only altcoins I was saying, I'm accumulating this, I'm buying here, I do think it's going to go up. And then we got this, guys, and I was devastated. But I'm not selling, guys. I'm not selling. And it's funny enough, it's in a profit after a couple of weeks, guys. What can we say? It was the only major altcoin that we mentioned throughout 2025 at least for me, to accumulate. I already accumulated my Ethereum and my Chainlink, got a big bag of that from much lower prices. So that is in the profit eventually. But the latest one that was not in the profit and in the red, which was heavy on my side, was ICP, guys. I was devastated about this. I was like, damn, guys. But we're not holding. Classic long squeeze. And let's give it a chance, guys. We are in November. Let's see if Bitcoin behaves. Let's see if Bitcoin dominance goes down. This one has a chance. Let's see if it's going to be the next Zcash. Much love to everybody. Thanks for smashing the like button. Like being smashed, legends. Hope you enjoyed the education and the different scenarios. Trade safe. You got the links down below, guys, for Bluffin BTCC. Remember that Bluffin right now has 20% cashback, guys. All right, 20% cashback. Make sure to read the terms and conditions. The link down below to get the biggest bonus 20% cashback available right now. And BTCC does have stock market to trade, okay, which is absolutely awesome. Biggest bonus available, $10,000 in rewards. You get them airdropped the more you trade throughout the next coming weeks, which is awesome. Increases your capital. You pay fees and losses with the bonus that you have, which is great. And you can trade stock market and gold, guys, on these exchanges. Check out the bonuses. Much love to everybody. Much love, Staffer One. Much love, everybody on the stream. Trade safe, stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be doing a video update. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.